Pressure is mounting now on Grenada and Antigua. Today, top US military personnel will be visiting the Prime Minister of Grenada and the Prime Minister of Antigua. You may ask, why Antigua? Antigua is next on the list to be asked for military assets to be placed on that island. That's according to the information coming out of the intelligence circles in the United States of America. Actually, watching before our very eyes is actually the dismantling of what is called CARICOM. I said a couple months ago that CARICOM is basically a dead entity. What we are seeing now is the US administration dividing the nations, dividing CARICOM nations. You have Guyana, you have Trinidad, they're putting pressure on Grenada, they're heading to Antigua, they already have Jamaica in their grasp. So, what is happening here? Countries that are developing their own economies, that are moving forward, the Americans are now pressuring them to accept military assets or they would sink their economy. As they did in Chile, they would make their economy scream. So, effectively, this is the dismantling of what we know as CARICOM and Caribbean unity. So, today, the US Navy Admiral Alvin Hosley, he's the commander of the Southern Command, or Southcom, which controls this part of the region, will visit Antigua and Barbuda and Grenada between today and tomorrow. It means, therefore, by tomorrow, we will know what the decision of Grenada or Antigua is. And he's going to meet with leaders of both nations. So that's Gaston Brown and that's Deacon Mitchell of Grenada. So the pressure is on because in Grenada, I understand that the pressure is so tight that Deacon is in a hot spot right now. You heard the views yesterday. Why Antigua, you may ask me as well. Well, there's no longer a US air base in Antigua. There used to be one, but the US deactivated the Antigua air station in 2015. Of course, those of you who know history remember during World War II that the US established both an Army air base and a naval air base station on the island of Antigua. Of course, that eventually became the site where you have today the modern day VC Bird International Airport. So the Americans are going back. They had a former US naval base, of course, which was turned over to Antigua government. That was turned over in 1995. And that is also now the headquarters for what you call the Antigua and Barbuda Defense Force. That's just a little history for you. So the Americans are heading back to Antigua and they are heading to Grenada today. They are going to ratchet up the pressure on both prime ministers to accept the narrative that the US is fighting narco terrorism in this part of the hemisphere. We all know that's a lie by now. We all know that's just some fabrication. And so Grenada and Antigua, the pressure is on. Will they bow to Washington? Will they bow to Trump's America? That is only left to be seen. So I call on you, persons in the diaspora, to pressure your governments at home. Because, of course, as you know, more persons from Antigua, more persons from Grenada, more persons from St. Vincent, St. Lucia, Barbados live in the United States of America. Many of them have already been sent home because of Trump's immigration policy. Are we still going to allow the United States to come to this region and do this to us? I'm calling on the Caribbean diaspora. Set up peaceful, legal protests. Write your congressmen, tell them we want no war in this part of the region and we do not want any buildup of military troops in this part of the region. Our peace of mind is more important than anything else. I said yesterday there's nothing we can get from this. Absolutely nothing but ruin of our region. This is pressure is on. The pressure is mounting on Grenada today. The pressure will be mounting on Gaston Brown tomorrow. Please, I'm begging the prime ministers of Antigua. I'm begging the prime ministers of Grenada. Listen to your people. We do not want any war in this part of the region. We do not want any assets, military assets to build up of US military assets in this part of the region. Friends, what we're looking at right now is effectively the dismantling of CARICOM. That is what we're looking at this present moment. The dismantling of CARICOM and Caribbean unity.